In a world scarred by war and haunted by silence, where battlefields have vanished but the echoes remain, Tin Soldier opens with a haunting sequence flashbacks of war zones, brothers in arms, lost battles, and broken spirits. We're introduced to a generation of veterans, abandoned by society, drifting in a world that no longer seems to need them. Among them is a figure cloaked in mystery, the Bokushi. In the dim light of an abandoned warehouse repurposed as a chapel, he stands before a crowd of weary, hardened men. With calm authority, he speaks not of pain but of purpose. He promises them healing, a new mission, and belonging. The camera lingers on the faces of the veterans, torn, skeptical, yet hungry for something to believe in. This is how the cult-like group known as the Shinjas begins. Soon, we see their transformation, scenes of intense training, blindfolded trust exercises, and drills that blur the line between discipline and indoctrination. The Bokushi isn't just a leader, he's a savior in their eyes. But beneath the surface lies something far more dangerous. As the Shinjas grow in number and influence, a feeling and concern brews in the highest levels of government. Military intel reports show a growing arsenal. Surveillance drones fail to breach the perimeter of Bokushi's compound, a desert fortress known only to a few. It's impenetrable, so the government turns to an unconventional solution. Enter Emmanuel Ashburn, a hardened intelligence officer with a sharp mind and little patience for red tape. He operates with clinical precision, driven by a deep sense of duty and the burden of secrets he's kept too long. In a dimly lit strategy room surrounded by monitors, war maps, and classified documents, Ashburn pores over old files, surveillance footage, and hushed rumors whispered among intelligence circles. Every piece points to a single truth. There's only one man who ever truly understood the Bokushi. That man was once one of them. His name is Nash Kavanaugh. Once a lethal special forces operative embedded deep within an elite covert unit, Nash has since become a ghost. Disillusioned by betrayal and broken by the mysterious disappearance of his wife, Evoli Carmichael, Nash severed all ties and vanished from the world. Presumed dead by many, he survives in isolation, hidden in the rugged wilderness, haunted by painful memories and the shadows of a life that no longer exists. Evoli was the only light in his life, and her disappearance under strange circumstances remains an unhealed wound. Ashburn tracks him down. The encounter is tense two men, bound by history, but scarred by it too. Their conversation unfolds in a remote cabin surrounded by silence. Nash is wary, his instincts sharp, but Ashburn reveals a truth that cuts deeper than any weapon. Recent intelligence suggests that Evoli might still be alive inside the very compound where the Bokushi operates. For Nash, everything changes. The solitude that once protected him now feels like a prison. The possibility that Evoli lives ignites something buried a purpose. With no time to waste, Nash agrees to return not as a follower, but as a weapon. He is uniquely qualified. He knows the language, the symbols, the training drills, and most crucially, the weak points of the Shinjas, the cult-like army molded by the Bokushi. To support him, Ashburn assembles a small but elite tactical unit. Each member is chosen with surgical precision. First is Luke Dunn, a gruff demolition expert with a dry wit and a reputation for solving problems with explosives. Next is Kevon Jackson, a methodical marksman whose calm presence under pressure has saved more than a few missions. Rounding out the trio is Lawrence Kalak, a tech wizard who can manipulate digital defenses like second nature. Together, this strike team represents a fusion of muscle brains and lethal accuracy, exactly what Nash needs for this mission. The journey begins under cover of darkness. Flying low and fast across desert terrain, the team approaches the compound with quiet urgency. Nash leads them through hidden entry points, secret canyons, and narrow passes only he remembers. Motion sensors, tripwires, and snipers dot the outer perimeter defenses Nash himself helped design. He navigates them with precision, while the others follow in tense silence. The desert air is dry, the night unnaturally quiet, as if the land itself anticipates the coming conflict. Inside the compound, a world unlike any other thrives. Shinjas disciplined, precise, and utterly loyal train in silence. Their formations are flawless, their movements synchronized, and their eyes always focused. The Bokushi's words are treated as scripture, his philosophies etched into the walls and the minds of his followers. Even children, born into the ideology, are molded into loyal believers. The compound is more than a fortress, it's a belief system carved in stone. As Nash infiltrates the interior, the mission becomes personal. He sees faces he once knew, comrades in arms who once trusted him. Some stare at him with recognition and pain. Others see only a traitor. Through hushed exchanges and fleeting glances, the cracks begin to show. Doubt flickers in a few eyes. The Bakushi's grip may be strong, but it's not impenetrable. In the deepest part of the compound, a heavily guarded chamber hides the unthinkable Evoli. She's alive. Nash finds her standing alone in a candlelit room, draped in ceremonial garb. Her face is calm but distant, her expression unreadable. She's not shackled, not imprisoned. She's one of them now. The years apart have changed her. Conditioned by manipulation and time, she now believes in the Bakushi's teachings. The revelation hits Nash like a freight train. He pleads with her, his voice breaking, asking her to remember who she used to be. For a moment, she wavers. She doesn't raise the alarm, but she doesn't follow him either. As Nash reels from the emotional blow of seeing Evoli changed beyond recognition, Ashburn's team moves with urgency and precision. Luke, the demolition expert with nerves of steel, sets high-yield explosives at the compound's critical load-bearing structures. Every step he takes is measured, every placement exact designed to bring the whole place down in one swift final detonation. Meanwhile, Kevin Jackson, ever the watchful marksman, scans the corridors through a scope, covering every angle. His steady hand and sharp eye ensure that the team remains unseen and unharmed. Elsewhere, Lawrence Call crouches over a panel of tangled wires and ancient hardware, fingers dancing over a portable console. He breaks into the compound's network with surgical skill, disabling surveillance systems, looping camera feeds, and rerouting internal communications. Everything is in motion. The countdown has begun, but a shadow of unease lingers in the air. For all their precision, something doesn't sit right. It's as if their every move has been anticipated, and it has. High above the main chamber, in a room shrouded in ritualistic decor and silence, the Bakushi watches from his private sanctum. He has seen this play before. Through hidden monitors and silent alerts, he has tracked Nash and the team from the moment they stepped into his domain. To him, this isn't chaos, it's choreography. He sits like a master tactician, calm and calculated, observing each event unfold with the detached confidence of someone who believes he cannot be undone. Then the inevitable moment arrives. The Bakushi, shrouded in ceremonial robes, emerges from the shadows and steps forward to confront Nash. He carries no weapon, makes no move to attack. Instead, he greets Nash with unsettling calm, arms open in a gesture more spiritual than tactical. His voice is calm, welcoming, as though Nash were a long-lost son returning home after years in exile. It's a calculated psychological move, one designed to disarm, confuse, and control. Their conversation begins quietly but quickly deepens into something more profound. It's not just a debate, it's a clash of worldviews. The Bakushi speaks of unity, purpose, and healing, casting himself as a visionary who has brought structure and meaning to a broken world. He portrays his cult not as a prison, but as a sanctuary. Nash, holding back both rage and grief, fires back. His words cut deep. He accuses the Bakushi of manipulation, of breaking minds to serve his agenda, of taking Evoli from him not just physically, but spiritually. He paints the Bakushi as a thief of lives and a master of illusions. Words are no longer enough. Fury overtakes philosophy. The two men, once mentor and pupil, now collide in a raw and brutal fight. It's not just fists and blood, it's ideology made flesh. As they grapple, kick, and punch, the very compound trembles with the chaos erupting around them. Across the facility, the explosions have triggered alarms and panic. Gunfire rings out as Shinja's loyal to the Bakushi rush to defend their leader. But not all of them join the fight. Some hesitate, uncertainty creeping into minds once sealed by doctrine. Others lower their weapons entirely, the seeds of doubt finally sprouting. Outside the central chambers, the rest of the team presses forward, bloodied but unyielding. They make their way through the fire and chaos, facing waves of resistance as they head toward the extraction point. With each second, the walls tremble, the compound collapsing bit by bit. Just as it seems they may be overrun, Evoli steps from the shadows, resolve now hardened. In a bold and silent act of rebellion, she makes her move. Slipping past guards and fallen comrades, she finds the core power system and disables it. The compound flickers and falls into darkness. The sudden blackout disrupts enemy coordination, buying the team just enough time to slip through the cracks. But Evoli doesn't go with them. When Nash reaches out to her, pleading one last time, she shakes her head. Her voice is calm but firm. She can't leave, not yet. She believes it's her duty now to help others break free as she has. Her battle, she says, must be fought from within. Before Nash can say more, she vanishes back into the smoke-filled maze of hallways, determined to be the spark of rebellion for those still trapped in delusion. This final confrontation is not violent. It's quiet, eerie in the chaos. The Bakushi stands with nothing but his words. His empire lies in ruins, his followers in disarray, and yet he does not beg. He looks Nash in the eye and asks a single question: did revenge bring you peace? Nash does not answer. He doesn't need to, His silence carries the weight of everything he has lost and what he has found. He turns his back on the Bokushi, not out of mercy, but because there is nothing more to be said. The man who once had all the answers now stands alone, surrounded by the wreckage of his own making. As the sun rises over the desert, the dust begins to settle. From a hilltop overlooking the smoking compound, Nash stands quietly. Helicopters appear in the distance, slicing through the morning air as they lift his team to safety. The orange light bathes everything in a surreal glow. The mission is over, but the burden is not. Evilly get rescued this time by Nash. The Shinjas, now without their shepherd, must find their own path, and Nash breathes. It's the first real breath he's taken in years, not filled with rage or guilt or sorrow. Just breath, just life. The film closes with a somber yet hopeful montage. We see the faces of those saved former cult members in therapy, families embracing lost loved ones. Government agents scrub all traces of the mission. No medals, no official records. The compound, once a fortress of fanaticism, is slowly overtaken by nature. Ivy creeps along shattered walls. Sand fills the courtyards. Time reclaims the space. And Nash, he's gone. No longer hiding, but simply gone. A ghost once more. But this time, he leaves not to escape the past, but to walk forward scarred, but no longer haunted.